Close your eyes. Imagine the bustling streets of Lagos, Nigeria, the largest city on the African continent, home to 20 million souls. A city alive with the throbbing heartbeat of commerce, where motorcycles weave deftly between lumbering buses and traders call out to the crowd from makeshift stalls overflowing with goods. The aroma of frying plantain mingles with the harsh scent of exhaust, creating a sensory tapestry that is unmistakably Lagos. Amid this vibrant chaos, a young man stands in a corner of the market, smartphone in hand. He could be scrolling through social media, like any other person of his age, but his focus is elsewhere. He is deeply engaged in an act of financial independence. He is converting his naira into USDT, tethered dollars. Digital dollars, a currency immune to the rapid devaluation his naira has suffered, having lost more than half its value in just 2 years. This ritual is as routine for him as sipping his morning coffee might be for someone in New York or London. As soon as he makes his first sales of the day, he safeguards his earnings, transferring them into a digital form beyond the reach of governmental instability. He does this without setting foot inside a bank, without a credit card, without an investment account. He is 24 years old, and in his hand, he holds his own financial destiny, operating as his own central bank. What may sound extraordinary in other parts of the world is quickly becoming the norm across this vast continent. Africa, where more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan regions lacks access to traditional banking services. It is here, in this gap left by conventional financial systems, that a quiet revolution is taking place. Not one of protest or upheaval, but of innovation and resilience, shaped by necessity and driven by technology. M-Pesa, a mobile money service launched by Safaricom in Kenya in 2007, laid the groundwork for this transformation. Within 3 years, M-Pesa had more subscribers than Kenya had bank accounts. By the end of its first decade, it was handling transactions surpassing half of Kenya's GDP annually. This was a clear signal to the world. Mobile technology was redefining financial landscapes, and Africa was at the forefront. Today, Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with over 220 million people, is embracing a new frontier, cryptocurrency. Against the backdrop of a rapidly devaluing currency and a young, tech-savvy population, Nigeria stands as a pivotal player in Africa's crypto adoption. This is a country where demographic vibrancy meets economic necessity, driving an unprecedented embrace of digital currencies. For many Africans, cryptocurrencies represent more than just an alternative form of money. They are lifelines offering financial autonomy, pathways around oppressive economic constraints, and shields against currency devaluation. In places where traditional banking infrastructure is sparse and trust in financial institutions scarce, digital currencies have captured the imagination and the wallets of millions. Peer-to-peer networks thrive here, facilitated by the innate human need for connection and trust. These networks are built not on the foundations of brick-and-mortar banks, but on relationships and community, offering a resilient alternative to conventional systems. Yet, this newfound financial landscape is not without its challenges and criticisms. Regulatory hurdles and volatility cast long shadows, even as the promise of innovation shines brightly. It is a delicate balancing act, one that this continent navigates with characteristic resolve. As the sun sets over the bustling markets and busy streets of Lagos, a future emerges. A future wherein the continent once left at the periphery of global finance finds itself at the center of a new financial order. This is the story of Africa's journey through the corridors of innovation and into a future defined not by what the world has left behind, but by what it dares to create. And so we begin with a continent that has redefined its own path. Ready for Chapter 1? And so we begin with a continent that has redefined its own path. Ready for Chapter 1? At the dawn of the 21st century, Africa looked out upon a world that had largely passed it by. For decades, The continent had been sidelined from the global financial system. It was a land of vibrant cultures and untapped potential, yet it faced systemic barriers that kept much of its population in a cash-based economy. In many African countries, banking services were, and still are, considered a luxury, inaccessible to more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa. This exclusion from traditional financial systems was not just an inconvenience. It was a profound limitation on economic growth and personal empowerment. As of 2007, nearly 80% of Kenyans were without a bank account. In Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, with over 220 million people, the situation was similarly dire. The Nigerian naira had been losing value rapidly, eroding purchasing power and savings alike. From Lagos to Nairobi, Accra to Johannesburg, the challenge was clear: how to thrive in a world where the keys to financial stability were held far beyond reach. The historical context is crucial to understanding the landscape. Post-colonial Africa was left with infrastructures and institutions that often benefited the few at the expense of the many. Corruption, political instability, and economic mismanagement further exacerbated this divide. The lack of trust in traditional banks was deep-rooted. Many banks were seen as extensions of a system that had failed its people repeatedly. In the rural areas where the roads were rough and the lands vast, a bank branch might be a day's journey away, if one existed at all. Yet amidst these challenges, there lay a unique opportunity for innovation. Africa is the world's youngest continent by median age, with a resilient population eager for change and solutions. By 2050, 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African, signifying a demographic shift with vast implications. It was this youthful energy that would begin to carve new paths, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. Enter mobile technology, a force that would soon rewrite the rules of engagement. In 2007, Safaricom, a telecommunications company in Kenya, launched M-Pesa, a mobile phone-based money transfer service. It was a simple yet revolutionary concept: allow people to send and receive money using their mobile phones. Users could deposit cash into an account stored on their phones and withdraw it as needed. No bank account required. Within 3 years, M-Pesa had more subscribers than Kenya had bank accounts, handling transactions equivalent to more than half of Kenya's GDP annually within a decade. It was a staggering success, showcasing the power of mobile technology to leapfrog traditional infrastructures. M-Pesa allowed people to bypass the limitations of the physical bank branch, offering a new kind of financial freedom. Farmers could receive payments for their produce directly to their phones. Small business owners could pay suppliers and receive payments without delay. Families could send money to loved ones in remote areas with just a few clicks. The impact on daily life was profound. In rural areas where traditional banking was a distant concept, M-Pesa became a lifeline. It provided a sense of security and autonomy that was previously unattainable. But M-Pesa was not just a local phenomenon. It caught the attention of the world, serving as a beacon for what was possible in financial innovation. This was not just about technology. It was about empowerment, about giving people control over their financial lives in ways they had never experienced before. The success of M-Pesa laid the groundwork for a broader acceptance of digital financial solutions across the continent. It set the stage for the next chapter in Africa's financial evolution: the adoption of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies offered answers to old problems, providing a decentralized, borderless financial system that was accessible to anyone with an internet connection. For many Africans, it was the perfect storm of necessity and opportunity. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, quickly emerged as a pivotal player in this new financial landscape. With its young, tech-savvy population and a pressing need for financial alternatives due to the naira's instability, Nigeria became fertile ground for cryptocurrency adoption. Bitcoin and other digital currencies began to fill the void left by unreliable national currencies and limited banking services. Nigerians used cryptocurrencies to hedge against inflation, transfer money across borders without exorbitant fees, and engage in global commerce. The grassroots embrace of cryptocurrencies in Nigeria was emblematic of a wider continental trend. Across Africa, digital currencies were being adopted as tools of resilience and survival. Yet this transformation did not come without challenges. Regulatory uncertainties loomed, with governments struggling to keep pace with the rapid technological changes. The volatility of cryptocurrencies also posed risks, with market fluctuations impacting those who had bet their savings on digital fortunes. Critics warned of bubbles and instability, but for many Africans, the potential benefits outweighed the risks. Cryptocurrencies offered a chance to participate in a global financial system from which they had been excluded for too long. The narrative of financial exclusion was being rewritten, not from the top down, but from the ground up. This was a movement driven by individuals, by communities, and by a shared desire for a better future. As we look ahead, the story of Africa's financial evolution is far from over. The continent stands at a crossroads, with the potential to redefine global finance through its embrace of digital currencies. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the unique innovations and successes that have emerged from this crypto adoption. We will explore the stories of individuals and communities who have turned to cryptocurrencies as a lifeline, carving out new paths in a world that once left them behind. Chapter 2 awaits, where the revolution of mobile money takes shape and sets the stage for something even greater. In the spring of 2007, a revolution quietly began in the bustling streets of Nairobi, Kenya. Safaricom, a leading telecommunications provider, introduced M-Pesa, a mobile money service that would redefine commerce in Kenya and beyond. This innovation did not require a bank account. Instead, it empowered users to send and receive money through their mobile phones. Within just 3 years, M-Pesa had amassed more subscribers than the entire Kenyan banking system. The success of M-Pesa was a revelation, not just for Kenya, but for the whole of Africa. It spoke to a continent where more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa lacked access to traditional banking services. In many ways, M-Pesa was a lifeline, offering financial services to millions who had previously been excluded. By 2017, 10 years after its inception, M-Pesa was handling transactions equivalent to more than half of Kenya's GDP annually. The resonance of M-Pesa's success was felt far beyond Kenya's borders. It served as a proof of concept for how mobile technology could leapfrog traditional banking infrastructure. Countries across Africa began to take notice, viewing this model as a potential solution to their own financial inclusion challenges. For many, this innovation revealed a path toward greater economic participation and stability. As M-Pesa set the stage, the story of digital currencies began to unfold in earnest. Cryptocurrencies, with their promise of decentralization and financial autonomy, found fertile ground in Africa's tech-savvy population. Nigeria, with its youthful demographics and burgeoning tech industry, emerged as a pivotal player in this narrative. The country, home to over 220 million people, is Africa's most populous and boasts the continent's largest economy. However, the economic context in Nigeria was fraught with challenges. The naira, Nigeria's national currency, had lost over half its value in just 2 years. This devaluation led to a crisis of confidence, compelling many Nigerians to seek alternatives to protect and retain their wealth. Cryptocurrencies emerged as a viable option, offering a hedge against local currency instability. In cities like Lagos, Africa's largest city with a population of 20 million, the adoption of cryptocurrencies took root swiftly. Lagos, a vibrant metropolis, pulsed with entrepreneurial spirit and innovation, making it a perfect incubator for this digital movement. Young Nigerians, increasingly comfortable with technology, turned to digital currencies not just as a store of value, but also as a means of conducting business. For many, cryptocurrencies were not merely an investment, they represented a new frontier of economic opportunity. By 2020, Nigeria was ranked among the top countries in the world for Bitcoin trading volume. This was not a coincidence, but rather a culmination of factors driving this embrace: a youthful population, currency volatility, and a lack of trust in traditional financial systems. Trust, a crucial element in the rise of digital currencies, was being increasingly placed in these decentralized networks rather than in banks or government institutions. The peer-to-peer nature of cryptocurrencies resonated deeply with Nigerians, who valued direct transactions without intermediaries. The world soon took notice of Nigeria's crypto phenomenon. Global exchanges and platforms began to tailor their services specifically for the African market, acknowledging the continent's unique needs and challenges. They provided user-friendly interfaces and educational resources to bridge the knowledge gap and facilitate smoother adoption. In many ways, this marked a significant shift, where Africa was no longer viewed as a passive recipient of financial technology, but as an active and influential player. Yet this rise was not without its tensions and challenges. Regulatory bodies in Nigeria and other African countries grappled with the rapid pace of digital currency adoption. Concerns about fraud, money laundering, and the potential for economic instability prompted cautious stances and, at times, outright bans. In February 2021, for instance, the Central Bank of Nigeria ordered banks to close accounts that engaged in cryptocurrency transactions. Despite these hurdles, the demand for cryptocurrencies continued to grow. The resilience and adaptability of the Nigerian crypto community were evident as peer-to-peer trading flourished. Platforms like Paxful and Local Bitcoins saw an uptick in activity, with users circumventing traditional financial channels to engage in crypto exchanges. This adaptability highlighted the deep-rooted desire for financial autonomy and innovation across the continent. The story of digital currencies in Africa is one of empowerment and transformation. It reflects a broader trend of technological adoption in a continent poised to become the world's most populous by 2050. 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African, and the decisions made today will shape the continent's financial future. As digital currencies continue to gain traction, they offer novel solutions to long-standing financial challenges. The rise of cryptocurrencies in Africa is not merely a technological shift. It is a cultural and economic revolution. It embodies the resilience and ingenuity of a people determined to rewrite their financial narratives. This momentum sets the stage for a deeper exploration of how peer-to-peer networks and communal trust have fueled this digital transformation. In the next chapter, we delve into these networks and the critical role of trust in building decentralized financial systems that empower individuals. Join us as we continue this journey into the heart of Africa's financial revolution. In the heart of Lagos, amidst the cacophony of 20 million voices, a quiet revolution is underway. This city, Nigeria's largest, is a microcosm of the entire continent's journey into the realm of cryptocurrencies. It is a place where tradition intertwines with innovation and where necessity often breeds invention. Lagos is a city defined by its contrasts. Skyscrapers loom over sprawling markets and sleek new technologies coexist with age-old customs. Here, the adoption of digital currencies is not merely an option but an imperative. Nigeria's economy, the largest in Africa, is both dynamic and fragile, shaped by a history of resource wealth and economic turmoil. In the past 2 years, the Nigerian naira has lost more than half its value. This devaluation has profound implications for everyday life, driving people to seek alternatives. The economic landscape is one where traditional banking systems fall short, and so many Nigerians turn to cryptocurrencies. Mary Okafor, a young entrepreneur, embodies this shift. At just 25, she manages an online business selling fashion accessories. Yet, without access to a reliable banking system, she found herself struggling to receive payments from customers abroad. Frustration turned to curiosity, and curiosity led her to Bitcoin. In 2021, Mary began accepting cryptocurrency payments. This decision transformed her business, expanding her customer base beyond Nigeria's borders. With digital currencies, she circumvented the fees and delays that plagued traditional international transactions. Her story is not unique, but part of a larger trend. Nigeria boasts a population of over 220 million people. Such staggering numbers drive the demand for financial solutions that are as vast and varied as the population itself. The country's youth, tech-savvy and ambitious, are particularly drawn to the potential of crypto. Nigeria's median age is just 18, making it fertile ground for digital innovations. The rise of cryptocurrencies in Nigeria is not simply a matter of avoiding currency depreciation. It is also about creating new economic pathways in a region historically excluded from global financial systems. More than half of sub-Saharan Africa's adult population lacks a bank account. Yet, mobile phones are everywhere, turning what might be a barrier into a bridge toward digital finance. In 2007, M-Pesa revolutionized how people in Kenya transferred money, setting a precedent for the mobile money movement across Africa. Within 3 years, it had more subscribers than there were bank accounts in Kenya. By handling over half of Kenya's GDP in transactions annually, M-Pesa demonstrated the power of bypassing traditional banking structures. Similarly, cryptocurrency is carving its niche in Nigeria, promising financial autonomy and inclusion. The government's regulatory stance, however, is complicated. In February 2021, the Central Bank of Nigeria banned banks from facilitating cryptocurrency transactions. Yet, this move did little to dampen enthusiasm. Instead, Nigerians adapted, shifting to peer-to-peer networks that no longer required bank intermediaries. Trust in these decentralized systems grew as traditional financial institutions continued to falter. Peer-to-peer exchanges allow individuals to trade directly, reinforcing community bonds in a way banks often cannot. Emmanuel Adu, a software developer in Abuja, recounts how these networks have impacted his life. When the ban took effect, he joined a local Bitcoin group trading directly with other users. This method, he says, is more than just a workaround. It's a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of Nigerians. As cryptocurrencies grow, so does the knowledge base. In cities like Lagos and Abuja, workshops and seminars on digital currencies are common. These gatherings are not merely instructional but communal, fostering a sense of shared purpose and innovation. The momentum is palpable. Young Nigerians like Mary and Emmanuel are leading the charge, not only adopting but also advocating for digital currencies. They are part of a global shift where Africa emerges as a key player in the crypto market. Yet, challenges persist. Volatility remains a significant concern. Cryptocurrencies are notorious for their price swings, and this instability can mirror the economic uncertainties they aim to address. Regulation, too, remains a double-edged sword, balancing protection with stifling innovation. But for now in Nigeria, the promise of crypto seems to outweigh the pitfalls. As these digital currencies continue to reshape Nigeria's financial landscape, the rest of the continent watches and learns. In Lagos, the sun sets over the bustling city, casting shadows that dance between the past and the future. It is a place where change is the only constant and where hope persists, woven into the fabric of everyday life. As we turn the page to the next chapter, we will explore the rise of digital currencies across Africa. There, we uncover how these currencies provide not just financial autonomy, but a new form of empowerment. The story of Nigeria is but the beginning, a beacon leading the way for others to follow. The journey continues, deeper into the heart of a continent poised to redefine its financial future. The African continent, diverse and vibrant, stood at the precipice of a financial transformation unlike any other. When cryptocurrencies began to trickle into the African market, it wasn't just another technological advancement, it was the promise of a new dawn. Digital currencies offered more than mere convenience. They represented an opportunity for financial autonomy and stability. For a continent where more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa remained unbanked, this was revolutionary. The rise of digital currencies in Africa can be traced back to a combination of necessity and innovation. Countries like Zimbabwe had already witnessed the devastating effects of hyperinflation. In 2008, Zimbabwe's inflation rate had reached an astronomical 89.7 sextillion% per month. Under such circumstances, the value of the Zimbabwean dollar was rendered nearly worthless. It was a financial catastrophe that forced people to seek alternatives beyond traditional currency. Digital currencies offered a compelling alternative. They provided a hedge against government-induced financial instability. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin became a store of value, much like gold, but with the accessibility that only digital platforms could offer. This was particularly poignant in West Africa, where Nigeria, the continent's largest economy, faced similar challenges. Nigeria's naira had lost over half its value in just 2 years. For a country with a population of 220 million, this devaluation had profound implications. The depreciation of the naira highlighted the vulnerabilities of a system reliant on conventional banking methods. As confidence in traditional financial institutions waned, digital currencies emerged as a beacon of hope. In Lagos, Nigeria's sprawling metropolis with over 20 million residents, the adoption of cryptocurrency was both rapid and widespread. The city's tech-savvy youth, part of Africa's burgeoning social media generation, were quick to embrace this innovation. By 2019, Nigeria had become the second largest Bitcoin market on the peer-to-peer platform Paxful, trailing only the United States. The appeal of digital currencies was not limited to merely financial transactions. For many Nigerians, cryptocurrencies represented a form of empowerment. They transcended geographical boundaries, allowing individuals to participate in the global economy without the constraints of local banking systems. This was particularly significant in a region where remittances play a crucial role. Remittances to sub-Saharan Africa amounted to nearly $48 billion in 2019. Yet, traditional money transfer services often came with exorbitant fees that ate into the funds intended for families back home. Digital currencies offered a more affordable alternative, enabling people to send money across borders with minimal costs. This financial inclusion had far-reaching implications for communities across the continent. In rural areas where banks were scarce, digital currencies facilitated trade and commerce. Farmers and small business owners could now transact with ease, broadening their market reach and circumventing the limitations of cash-only economies. For many, this was a lifeline, a means to improve livelihoods in regions often overlooked by traditional financial institutions. But beyond the monetary aspect, digital currencies forged a new kind of trust. In a continent where traditional banking had often failed to deliver, decentralized systems offered transparency and security. Blockchain technology, the foundation of cryptocurrencies, provided an immutable ledger of transactions, a safeguard against corruption and fraud. This appealed to those who had grown wary of opaque financial practices. One remarkable story is that of Alakanani Itireleng, often dubbed as Bitcoin Lady of Botswana. Faced with her son's medical bills and a lack of funds, she discovered Bitcoin in 2013. Her initial curiosity soon turned into advocacy as she began educating others about the potential of cryptocurrencies. Her journey was one of resilience, illustrating the transformative power of digital currencies on a personal level. In the years that followed, Alakanani's efforts helped foster a burgeoning crypto community in Botswana. Her workshops and seminars inspired others to explore the possibilities of a digital economy. Today, her legacy is evident in the growing number of individuals and businesses embracing cryptocurrencies across the continent. Yet it wasn't just individuals who saw the potential. Governments, too, began to take notice. In 2022, Ghana announced plans for a central bank digital currency, CBDC. This initiative marked a significant step towards integrating digital currencies into the national financial framework. It underscored the recognition that digital economies were not merely a trend, but a fundamental shift in how value is exchanged. The ECD's development aimed to enhance financial inclusion and reduce the reliance on cash transactions. It was part of a broader strategy to modernize Ghana's economy and position itself at the forefront of digital innovation in Africa. Similarly, other countries began exploring CBDCs, each seeking to harness the advantages of digital financial systems. Despite these strides, challenges remained. Regulatory frameworks were still evolving, and the volatility of cryptocurrencies posed significant risks. There were concerns about their use in illicit activities, and governments grappled with finding a balance between innovation and regulation. In Nigeria, the government's initial ban on cryptocurrencies in 2021 had sparked widespread debate. Critics argued that it stifled innovation and denied citizens access to a vital financial tool. However, the ban was eventually lifted, and dialogue continued on how best to regulate the burgeoning crypto market. As Africa continued to navigate this digital frontier, one thing was clear. The continent was not merely a passive participant in the global crypto narrative. It was an active player, shaping its own path and redefining financial futures. The potential for digital currencies to bridge gaps in financial access was immense, offering a glimpse of a more equitable tomorrow. The rise of digital currencies in Africa was more than just a reaction to economic challenges. It was a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of a continent determined to chart its own destiny. As we delve deeper into the world of peer-to-peer networks and the trust they engender, we find a landscape rich with possibilities and lessons for the world. And so, as Africa embraced this new financial landscape, the stage was set for a deeper exploration into the networks that fueled this revolution. In the next chapter, we will uncover the role of peer-to-peer networks in facilitating the growth of cryptocurrencies and the trust they build in decentralized systems. In the next chapter, we will uncover the role of peer-to-peer networks in facilitating the growth of cryptocurrencies and the trust they build in decentralized systems. Trust is a fragile component, often invisible but profoundly influential in financial matters. As the world of cryptocurrencies expanded, particularly in Africa, trust found a new home in peer-to-peer networks. This was a landscape where traditional banks had largely failed to plant their roots. The foundation of these networks, unlike conventional banking, was built upon the direct connections between individuals. In cities like Lagos and Nairobi, where traditional financial systems often felt distant or inaccessible, peer-to-peer networks offered a sense of immediacy and reliability. These connections were vital in a continent where more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa had no formal bank account. In 2009, Bitcoin's creation marked the beginning of a revolution in digital currency. Yet, its initial reach was limited, a curious experiment in computer science rather than a tool for financial liberation. However, as people began to understand the potential of cryptocurrencies, others saw an opportunity, an alternative to the problematic banking systems they had long endured. The African continent, vast and varied, became a fertile ground for this new form of currency exchange. The ability to send and receive money across borders, bypassing traditional financial roadblocks, resonated deeply with people who had long been excluded from global commerce. Trust was no longer centralized in institutions that had failed them, but rather it was distributed among individuals. In 2015, as economic instability grew in many African nations, these networks gained momentum. Zimbabwe, for example, had experienced hyperinflation that rendered its currency nearly worthless. During this crisis, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin offered a lifeline, a method to preserve value and facilitate transactions. Here, peer-to-peer networks shone brightly, enabling people to trade directly, without intermediaries siphoning value through fees or unfavorable rates. Platforms like local Bitcoins emerged, creating a marketplace where people could buy and sell Bitcoin directly with others nearby. Trust was established through profiles, ratings, and reviews, somewhat akin to online marketplaces. This peer-reliant system allowed for a sense of community oversight, reducing the risk of fraud in ways that traditional systems often failed to achieve. In Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, the story was similar yet distinct. Boasting a population of 220 million, Nigeria had seen its currency, the naira, lose over half its value in the span of 2 years. For many Nigerians, cryptocurrency was not just a speculative asset, but a necessary tool for survival. In a country where the economy is the largest on the continent, yet plagued by instability, blockchain technology offered transparency and security. Peer-to-peer networks became a bridge, connecting Nigerians to a global marketplace and offering a hedge against their devaluing local currency. The importance of education in these networks cannot be overstated. Communities were built around the sharing of knowledge, empowering individuals to navigate this new digital frontier with confidence. Workshops and online forums became prevalent, fostering a spirit of collaboration and mutual aid. In 2017, the African Blockchain Alliance was formed to further these goals, aiming to educate and integrate blockchain technology across the continent. Here, trust was not just a matter of securing transactions, but of building communities empowered by shared understanding and common goals. The role of peer-to-peer networks in building trust extended beyond mere transactions. They redefined relationships between people and their money, and between individuals and their communities. This was a profound shift in a continent where formal financial systems were often seen as foreign and inaccessible. In 2020, the global pandemic exacerbated existing challenges while also highlighting the resilience of these networks. As traditional financial systems faltered under the weight of economic shutdowns, peer-to-peer networks in Africa proved remarkably adaptable. People turned to cryptocurrencies not only as a means of preservation, but as a means to continue participating in a global economy that was increasingly digital. The stories emerging from this period are deeply human. Take the example of Amara from Lagos, who started her journey into cryptocurrency out of necessity. With the naira's volatility threatening her family's savings, she turned to Bitcoin. Through a local peer-to-peer network, she traded with individuals who shared her plight. Trust was built through communication, reputation, and shared experiences. This network became more than a financial tool. It was a lifeline. In Ghana, Kofi, a young entrepreneur, used cryptocurrency to bypass international banking restrictions, allowing his business to thrive amid the global uncertainty. Through peer-to-peer networks, he accessed markets and financial tools that would have otherwise been out of reach. Trust here was established not through formal institutions, but through personal connections forged in shared economic struggles. As these networks continue to evolve, they address a fundamental need for financial autonomy in a world where traditional systems often fail to deliver. They exemplify the spirit of innovation and resilience that is at the heart of Africa's embrace of cryptocurrency. In the coming years, peer-to-peer networks are likely to play an even greater role in shaping the continent's economic landscape. As technology continues to advance, so too will the methods by which trust is established and maintained. This evolution represents more than just a technological shift. It is a profound change in how people relate to money and to each other. The story of cryptocurrency in Africa is one of empowerment and opportunity. It is a testament to the creative ways in which people can come together to overcome systemic barriers. As we conclude this chapter, we stand on the brink of a future where these networks will not only continue to grow, but also redefine what is possible for millions. In the next chapter, we will delve into the challenges and criticisms that accompany this burgeoning market. The adoption of cryptocurrency in Africa, while promising, has not been without its significant challenges and criticisms. Regulatory hurdles, market volatility, and the ever-present risk of fraud cast shadows over this emerging financial landscape. Governments across the continent have taken varied stances, some cautious and others outright hostile, towards digital currencies. These issues raise questions about the long-term viability and security of cryptocurrencies as a stable economic alternative. In Nigeria, the government's response to the burgeoning crypto market has been one of skepticism and regulation. In February 2021, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued an announcement prohibiting financial institutions from dealing in cryptocurrencies or facilitating payments for crypto exchanges. This decision was met with public outcry, as millions of Nigerians had already integrated digital currencies into their daily transactions. Many saw crypto as a solution to the devaluation of the naira and as a means of economic empowerment. Despite these regulatory barriers, peer-to-peer crypto trading platforms surged in popularity. Nigerians turned to platforms like Paxful and local bitcoins to continue their crypto transactions outside the traditional banking systems. This workaround highlighted the resilience and adaptability of the Nigerian populace in the face of financial adversity. However, it also underscored the potential risks associated with unregulated financial movements. Volatility remains another critical issue. Cryptocurrencies are notorious for their price fluctuations, which can amplify risks for users who rely on them for essential transactions. Stories of individuals losing significant portions of their savings due to market crashes are not uncommon. The roller coaster nature of crypto prices can make it an unreliable medium of exchange for those who cannot afford financial instability. Consider the tale of Adaobi Okafor, a young entrepreneur from Lagos. She ventured into the world of cryptocurrency by investing her hard-earned savings in Bitcoin during its meteoric rise in late 2020. Initially, her investment seemed promising, with her digital wallet's value increasing rapidly. However, the subsequent market correction saw her portfolio plummet, erasing much of her gains almost overnight. Adaobi's story is a cautionary one, reflective of the larger sentiment among African crypto users. While cryptocurrencies offer opportunities for substantial returns, the lack of stability poses a risk that can have dire consequences. This volatility is further compounded by the absence of traditional insurance or safety nets typically found in conventional banking systems. Fraud and scams are additional obstacles. The anonymity and decentralization that make cryptocurrencies appealing also create opportunities for exploitation. In 2021, a report by blockchain analysis firm Chainalysis found that Africa was the third highest region for crypto scams worldwide. Scammers have capitalized on the lack of regulatory oversight and the rapid spread of crypto enthusiasm among inexperienced users. The case of the ThroneCoin scam in South Africa serves as a stark reminder. Promising astronomical returns on investments, ThroneCoin attracted thousands of unsuspecting investors. By the time authorities intervened, millions of dollars had been siphoned off, leaving investors with nothing but empty promises. Such incidents fuel the argument for stronger regulatory frameworks to protect consumers. Yet regulation itself is a double-edged sword. Overly stringent policies can stifle innovation and drive crypto activities underground, where they become harder to monitor and control. Striking the right balance is a delicate task facing policymakers across the continent. They must navigate the complex interplay between fostering innovation, protecting consumers, and maintaining financial stability. Rwanda's approach offers an interesting perspective. The Rwandan government has been relatively open to exploring the potential of blockchain technology while maintaining a cautious stance on cryptocurrencies. In 2022, Rwanda's central bank announced a study into the feasibility of a central bank digital currency, CBDC, reflecting a growing trend among African nations to explore state-backed digital currencies. This initiative aims to harness the benefits of digital currencies while mitigating the risks associated with decentralized crypto markets. In contrast, Zimbabwe presents a case of regulatory hesitation. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has historically taken a hardline stance against cryptocurrencies, banning banks from processing crypto transactions since 2018. However, the persistent economic challenges and currency instability have led to an underground crypto market that thrives despite the official ban. Businesses and individuals discreetly use Bitcoin and other digital currencies as lifelines amidst hyperinflation and currency devaluation. The tension between regulation and innovation is a thread running through Africa's crypto narrative. As the continent continues to grapple with these issues, the broader implications for economic development and financial inclusion remain significant. Cryptocurrencies, despite their challenges, still hold the promise of bridging financial gaps, offering tools for economic empowerment in regions with limited banking infrastructure. Yet the path forward is fraught with uncertainties. How will African governments strike the balance between regulation and innovation? What role will international bodies play in shaping the continent's crypto landscape? These questions linger as stakeholders work towards creating a secure and inclusive financial future. In the heart of this complexity lies the human element. Behind every transaction, every investment, and every innovation are individuals like Adaobi Okafor, striving for better opportunities. Their stories, marked by hope and hardship, propel the narrative of Africa's crypto journey forward. As we move into the next chapter, we will explore the stories of success and innovation that continue to shape this dynamic landscape. As we move into the next chapter, we will explore the stories of success and innovation that continue to shape this dynamic landscape. The journey of cryptocurrency in Africa is marked not just by challenges, but by inspiring tales of resilience and creativity. These stories offer a window into how digital currencies are transforming lives and communities across the continent. Let's delve into some remarkable case studies that illustrate the profound impact of this financial revolution. In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, with a population of 20 million, cryptocurrency has found a fertile ground for growth. Among the many entrepreneurs leveraging digital currencies is Ifeanyi Okeke, a tech-savvy young man who saw an opportunity in the crypto boom. With Nigeria's naira having lost over half its value in just 2 years, Ifeanyi turned to Bitcoin not just as a store of value, but as a means to conduct international business. He launched a small e-commerce platform that deals exclusively in cryptocurrency, allowing Nigerians to buy and sell goods with ease, bypassing the volatile local currency. The story of Ifeanyi is not an isolated one. In the heart of Nairobi, Kenya, Mary Wambui, a single mother of 2, employed M-Pesa to access cryptocurrency services for savings and investments. After attending a local workshop on digital currencies, she decided to convert part of her earnings into stablecoins, a type of cryptocurrency pegged to stable assets. This decision has allowed her to protect her savings from inflation, a perilous issue in many African countries. Mary's foresight has not only safeguarded her financial future, but has inspired others in her community to consider similar paths. In South Africa, where traditional financial systems are more developed yet still inaccessible to many, the crypto landscape is evolving rapidly. A pioneering project, Sun Exchange, enables individuals to buy solar cells using Bitcoin. These cells are then leased to schools and businesses in sun-rich, electricity-poor areas across the continent. This initiative has not only provided clean energy at affordable rates, but has also created a new investment avenue for those looking to make a positive impact. The success of Sun Exchange reflects a broader trend of using blockchain technology for social good, offering a glimpse into a more sustainable future. Meanwhile, in Ghana, a young startup called Bitland is harnessing blockchain technology to address land ownership disputes, a critical issue in the country. By recording land titles on an immutable ledger, Bitland provides a transparent, secure way to verify property ownership. This innovative approach is reducing corruption and bureaucracy, empowering people like Kwame Adjei, who recently secured the first blockchain-based land title in his village. For Kwame, this was more than just a piece of paper. It was a promise of stability and security for his family. In Uganda, a unique cryptocurrency called the A-coin, launched by music artist Akon, is gaining traction. Akon's vision is to create an ecosystem that empowers people to engage in the digital economy through blockchain. The A-coin cryptocurrency is designed to facilitate microtransactions in a region where many people still live on less than $2 a day. This alternative currency is providing financial inclusion for many Ugandans, like Grace Namaganda, a market vendor who now accepts a coin as payment for her goods. This shift has expanded her customer base and improved her income, thereby enhancing her quality of life. Further south in Zimbabwe, where hyperinflation once rendered its currency nearly worthless, Bitcoin is rapidly being adopted as both a store of value and a means of transaction. In Harare, Tendai Mutasa, an IT specialist, started BitMary, a remittance service that allows Zimbabweans abroad to send money home using Bitcoin. This service is not only faster and cheaper than traditional methods, but also circumvents the liquidity challenges faced by local banks. BitMary has become a lifeline for families like the Mutsvangwas, who can now receive funds from their relatives abroad without the high costs of traditional remittance services. These stories of innovation and resilience are emblematic of a broader movement across Africa. A continent that once seemed excluded from the global financial system is now at the forefront of digital currency adoption. The success of platforms like M-Pesa paved the way for this revolution, demonstrating that technology can leapfrog barriers imposed by conventional infrastructures. With more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa lacking a bank account, cryptocurrencies offer a new way forward. Alongside these successes, challenges remain. Regulatory uncertainty continues to pose a significant hurdle for widespread adoption. Governments fear the potential for illicit activities and tax evasion, yet many are beginning to recognize the benefits of embracing digital currencies. Countries like Nigeria and South Africa are working towards establishing frameworks to regulate and support the crypto industry. This balance between control and innovation is delicate and critical for the future. As African nations navigate these complexities, the human stories of those who embrace change inspire a vision of what is possible. The entrepreneurs, farmers, and everyday citizens who have turned to cryptocurrency are writing a new chapter in the continent's financial narrative. Their experiences highlight the transformative power of technology in breaking down barriers and creating opportunities. As we conclude this exploration of success and innovation in Africa's crypto landscape, we stand at a precipice of what comes next. Looking toward the future, one question remains: how will these digital currencies integrate into the broader global financial system? Will Africa continue to lead in innovation, or will new challenges arise as these technologies mature? In our next chapter, we will venture into the potential futures that lie ahead. We will consider the implications for both individuals and nations as they navigate the evolving terrain of digital finance. Join us as we explore the future of finance in Africa and beyond. Join us as we explore the future of finance in Africa and beyond, where the rhythms of change carry both promise and complexity. In this chapter, we delve into the intricate tapestry of an investigation, one that seeks to understand how Africa, a continent historically marginalized by traditional banking, is transforming into a pivotal player in the world of digital finance. To understand this transformation, we must first revisit the corridors of time where traditional banking's exclusion laid deep roots. For decades, more than half of the adult population in sub-Saharan Africa lacked bank accounts, trapped in a cycle where financial institutions viewed them as too high risk or low profit. This left many relying on cash-based systems, vulnerable to theft and inflation. The story of financial exclusion is long and complex, woven with historical threads of colonial legacies and economic disparities. Throughout the 20th century, the lack of infrastructure and political instability further entrenched the divide. Many rural areas, home to vast portions of the African population, remained untouched by conventional banking services, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and financial invisibility. Kenya, an East African nation with a vibrant economy yet a significant unbanked population, witnessed a watershed moment in 2007. Safaricom, a telecommunications giant, introduced M-Pesa, a mobile money service. Within 3 years, M-Pesa boasted more subscribers than all the bank accounts combined in Kenya. By the end of the decade, it was handling over half of the country's annual GDP in transactions, a testament to the power of mobile technology in reshaping finance. M-Pesa's impact transcended mere numbers. It transformed lives by enabling micro-entrepreneurs in tiny villages to transact with ease, sending money across distances that would otherwise demand days of travel. Stories abound of parents able to pay school fees with a few clicks on their phones, or farmers investing in better seeds with newfound financial accessibility. The ripple effects of this mobile revolution are deeply human, touching facets of life well beyond the confines of traditional banking. As the world watched, Nigeria emerged as another focal point in this unfolding financial narrative. With a population of 220 million, Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation and holds the continent's largest economy. Yet it grapples with severe currency devaluation. The naira has lost over half its value in just 2 years. This economic instability has driven the demand for stable, alternative financial solutions, spearheading a surge in cryptocurrency adoption. In Lagos, Nigeria's bustling financial hub, young tech-savvy entrepreneurs are at the forefront of this digital revolution. They leverage blockchain technology to create new opportunities for financial inclusion, sidestepping the inefficiencies of traditional banking. Individuals like Chidi, a 29-year-old software developer, have embraced cryptocurrencies not just as investments, but as lifelines against economic volatility. Chidi's story is emblematic of a generation that refuses to be shackled by outdated systems. With a laptop and an internet connection, Chidi navigates global markets from the comfort of his modest apartment. This new wave of digital entrepreneurs blends innovation with necessity, crafting solutions that resonate deeply within communities hungry for change. The energy in Lagos, fueled by coffee and ambition, is palpable, a testament to a city and a continent on the verge of transformation. As Africa becomes increasingly important in the global crypto market, peer-to-peer networks grow ever more vital. These decentralized systems, unlike traditional banks, do not rely on a central authority, thus fostering a culture of trust and community. In markets where skepticism towards banks runs high, these networks offer a sense of empowerment, allowing individuals to control their financial destinies. Critics argue that the volatility of cryptocurrencies poses significant risks. Regulatory bodies in various African nations, wary of these digital currencies, have imposed restrictions aiming to safeguard citizens from potential pitfalls. Yet these measures often push crypto activities into the shadows, where regulation is scarce. Nonetheless, the potential of cryptocurrencies in Africa remains a beacon of hope for many. They offer a way to bypass traditional currency controls, facilitate remittances, and even hedge against inflation. In a continent where the median age is the youngest globally, the appetite for technological innovation is palpable, poised to reshape the financial landscape. Successful initiatives abound across the continent. In South Africa, for example, Luno, a digital currency exchange, has empowered thousands to trade cryptocurrencies. Meanwhile, in Uganda, the use of Bitcoin for cross-border transactions has helped small businesses thrive amid economic challenges. These stories reflect a broader trend: Africa's embrace of digital currencies as tools of economic liberation. Amidst this digital revolution, the human element remains crucial. Stories of innovation are not tales of technology alone, but narratives of resilience and adaptation. From the bustling markets of Accra to the vibrant tech hubs of Nairobi, individuals are using these tools to craft new realities. They are redefining what it means to participate in a global economy, breaking barriers that once seemed insurmountable. The investigation into the future of finance in Africa does not end with cryptocurrencies. As we look ahead, we see the potential for further integration with global financial systems, spurred by youthful demographics and technological advancements. By 2050, it is projected that 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African, underscoring the continent's growing influence. The journey from exclusion to innovation is a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. As we piece together this narrative, the weight of history is ever present, yet so too is the promise of the future. The challenges are formidable, from regulatory hurdles to technological barriers, but the potential rewards are profound. In the coming years, Africa's financial evolution will likely serve as a model for other regions grappling with similar challenges. The lessons learned here about adaptability, community trust, and technological prowess offer valuable insights for a world increasingly interconnected. As we conclude this chapter of our investigation, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The path forward is uncertain, yet filled with opportunities for those willing to embrace change. The future of finance in Africa is not just a story of cryptocurrencies, but of a continent poised to redefine its economic destiny. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the human stories behind these transformations, stories of innovation, struggle, and triumph. We will meet individuals who are not only participants in this digital revolution, but its architects and beneficiaries. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the fabric of Africa's financial future, one thread at a time. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the fabric of Africa's financial future, one thread at a time. Today, we delve into the legacy that Africa is weaving through its embrace of cryptocurrency. This is not just a story of technology or finance. It is a story of resilience, innovation, and transformation. In the shadow of exclusion from the traditional banking systems, a new economic narrative has emerged. Africa, often sidelined in global financial discussions, is now a pivotal player in the crypto market. This transformation is built on the back of mobile technology, bypassing the need for physical banks. It's a testament to the continent's adaptability and ingenuity. The journey begins with M-Pesa, which emerged in Kenya in 2007. It wasn't just a leap forward, it was a paradigm shift. Within 3 years, M-Pesa had more subscribers than there were bank accounts in the country. This set a precedent, proving that financial inclusion could be achieved without traditional banks. By 2010, over 70% of the adult population in Kenya was using this mobile money service, illustrating a deep-rooted shift in daily financial practices. As we trace this legacy, we cannot overlook the human stories that give it life. Consider Amina, a small business owner in Nairobi. For years, she struggled with the limitations of cash-only transactions. M-Pesa transformed her business, allowing her to reach customers beyond her immediate locality. When cryptocurrencies entered the scene, she was already attuned to digital transactions, using Bitcoin to pay for goods from international suppliers, circumventing the cumbersome process of foreign exchange. Cryptocurrency in Africa is not just about financial gain, it's about financial empowerment. For many, it offers a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. Take Nigeria, for example. The naira has lost over half its value in the past 2 years. For Nigerians, cryptocurrency offers a stable alternative, a way to preserve value in an uncertain economy. In 2021, the Central Bank of Nigeria estimated that over $400 million worth of cryptocurrency was traded in the country. Nigeria, with its population of 220 million, is Africa's most populous nation. It's here that we see a confluence of youth, technology, and economic necessity driving crypto adoption. The median age in Africa is the youngest in the world, a fact that has profound implications for technology adoption. These digital natives are not just consumers of technology, they are creators and innovators. In fact, Nigeria ranks among the top 10 countries in the world for Bitcoin trading volume. In Lagos, a city of 20 million, crypto has taken root in the tech-savvy youth culture. For young entrepreneurs, digital currencies offer pathways into new markets and financial systems. They provide a means to bypass the often prohibitive costs and sluggish processes associated with traditional banking. The vibrancy of Yaba, Lagos's tech hub, is a testament to this digital evolution, with startups like Bitcoins creating platforms for easy and secure crypto transactions. Let's not forget the cultural aspect of trust, a cornerstone of the crypto ecosystem. In many African communities, trust is not just a word, it's a way of life. Peer-to-peer networks have flourished because they resonate with traditional African values. They offer decentralization, a notion that fits well within cultures where communal trust is paramount. This is particularly evident in countries like Ethiopia, where the concept of trust is deeply embedded in the social fabric. Yet this legacy is not without its challenges. The crypto market in Africa faces regulatory hurdles. Governments are wary, and regulations are either non-existent or in flux. There are concerns about volatility and the potential for misuse. However, these challenges are not insurmountable. They are part of the growing pains of a rapidly evolving system. In South Africa, authorities are actively working on a regulatory framework to ensure consumer protection while fostering innovation. Innovation continues to flourish despite these challenges. In Ghana, for example, Bitland is using blockchain to solve land dispute issues, providing transparency and security. The project has mapped over 28,000 land parcels, significantly reducing conflicts. In Zimbabwe, Golix facilitates crypto transactions, offering an alternative in a country where the local currency has been notoriously volatile. These innovations signal a broader trend of utilizing cryptocurrency to address structural issues unique to each nation. The legacy of Africa's crypto revolution is not just economic, it's deeply human. It tells a story of empowerment, of people taking control of their financial destinies. It speaks to a continent's ability to innovate under constraint, to leapfrog traditional systems and create something new. By 2019, nearly 60% of Africa's population was using mobile banking services, providing a fertile ground for cryptocurrency adoption. The impact of this legacy is profound and far-reaching. By 2050, 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African. This demographic reality underscores the importance of Africa's financial evolution. As Africa continues to integrate with global financial systems, the lessons learned here will resonate worldwide. Innovations born out of necessity here may well shape global practices in the years to come. The story of Africa's crypto journey is still being written. It is a narrative of possibility, one that challenges assumptions and redefines the future of finance. For Amina in Nairobi, for tech entrepreneurs in Lagos, and for countless others across the continent, cryptocurrency is more than a financial tool. It's a symbol of change, a beacon of what is possible when innovation meets necessity. As we conclude this chapter, we stand on the cusp of new developments. The road ahead is both challenging and exciting. Africa's legacy in the financial world is unfolding, with each innovation, each adoption, weaving a richer tapestry of possibility. The question remains, how will this legacy influence the global financial narrative? What role will Africa play in shaping the future of money and technology? Join us next time as we explore these questions and more, delving even deeper into the heart of Africa's economic transformation. The journey is far from over. There's much more to discover as Africa continues to write its own financial destiny. In the quiet corners of Kigali, Accra, and Lagos, the rhythm of change beats softly against the backdrop of daily life. Each transaction, each connection, is a testament to human ingenuity under constraints. It's not just about bypassing banks, it's a deeper quest for autonomy, a desire to be seen in a world that has long overlooked. When we consider the emergence of cryptocurrencies in Africa, we are reminded of the unyielding spirit of adaptation. Across a continent where challenges are abundant and resources scarce, people have found a way to rewrite the rules of engagement in finance. The story is as much about trust as it is about technology. In a place where traditional institutions falter, the embrace of digital currencies signifies a profound shift, a trust transferred from the tangible to the virtual, from the known to the new. It's a trust built not on contracts or vaults, but on networks and codes. And yet, this journey is not without its shadows. The volatility of digital assets, the looming presence of regulatory uncertainties, and the ever-present threat of exploitation remind us of the delicate balance between opportunity and risk. But perhaps it is in this tension where Africa's story resonates most. A story of resilience, of daring to step into the unknown to carve out a future. As we close this chapter, consider what the African crypto revolution tells us about humanity. It's a chronicle of necessity driving innovation, of individuals and communities reclaiming power in a landscape that seemed to offer none. It's about the courage to leap into uncharted territories and the wisdom to leverage what is available to construct a better tomorrow. In a world so often driven by the pulse of money, perhaps Africa's lesson is that true wealth lies in the ability to adapt and transform, to trust in the strength of community, in the collective capacity to innovate, and in the potential to redefine what it means to be financially free. As you drift into rest, let these thoughts settle. The future remains unwritten, but it waits for the footsteps of those willing to explore. This journey is just as much about you as it is about Africa. Sleep now, with the gentle assurance that change is constant, and sometimes the most profound transformations begin with a single step into the unfamiliar. This has been Satoshi's Lullaby. May your dreams be filled with possibilities, and your rest be as deep as the night. Good night.